fantastic on this. All right. Hey, welcome to Quarantine Comedy. This is Lenny Schmidt. Do me a favor.
Hey, welcome to Lily Schmidt's Quarantine Comedy. That's right, I am in charge now. This show is where we talk with entertainment professionals about their lives, their careers, and how they've adapted before, during, and after COVID, or if they've adopted at all. This show, we live stream Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and every show is uploaded to an audio podcast to all platforms, such as Apple Music, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Lily Schmidt's Quarantine Comedy is brought to you by you. We have 0 sponsors. We support solely by you, the viewers, and if you want to help support, like us, continue to support other artists, if you can look at the ticker, you can support with other ways financially. It'll show you up there. We have a great show for you today.
Lily, are you on my computer?
No! I gotta go.
Boom. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Lenny Schmidt's Quarantine Comedy. Thank you for being here. I apologize. There were stream issues yet again. I'm just blaming the kids. I'm blaming the kids at Westview. It's not my fault. I was there. They didn't hook up the stream correctly. But I fixed it. And now we're just on a different stream. We're on a different stream. But you guys are all here. There's people here already. That's great. It's my supporters that watch the show on a regular basis. All you guys are trained to the fact that I make a mistake. The mistakes are made, and I appreciate that. Thanks for being here, man. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the show. I play the intro today, so things are. First of all, give the video a thumbs up, please. Do me a favor. Do that. Hit like, subscribe, do all that important stuff that you're supposed to do when you're there. And I think besides that, I'm babbling because I'm bouncing between streams, making sure everything's right, because I do this all because I have to oversee the dumb kids, the Westview kids that just don't seem to have it together. And so boom, and then boom, and then boom. I think we're good. Okay. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here, man. Thanks for tuning in. It is Wednesday. I don't have a whole lot of news to report. It's good to be here. I spent my day yesterday at Universal. It was my youngest daughter's birthday, so I'm filled with funnel cakes and fat food, carbs. So there we go. So let's get right to the board, man. Let's just say hello to everybody who's here. Vince Mulligan, I'm glad you're here, man. Good to see you. Ben Magley, how are you, sir? Good to hope things are well in Green Bay. Of course, Brenda Runyon is here. I know, Brenda, you can hear me talking. You can commonly hear me reloading things in the background, saying things like, shit, fuck, shit, shit, shit. Yeah, I got to really learn to turn that microphone off when I'm doing that. And Shauna's here. Hi, Shauna. Thanks for being here. Robin Greenberg, Shauna Johnston. You guys are so cool. Thank you all for tuning in. Please like the videos, hit thumbs up, do all that stuff. And I guess we're good. Let me share one more thing to do really quick. Boom. Copy that. Close that. And then I'm going to go to the old video and see if there's a way that I can share that as well. Yeah, I am. Here we go. For all you guys asking questions about cruise ships, especially Carnival, I will tell you this: I have not booked any dates with Carnival, but I do know people who have. So dates are being booked for the comics. I know some guys that are going out in August. California ships, Long Beach ships. That's kind of good news for you guys. Some of you guys are West Coast viewers, so or West Coast cruisers. So there you go. The ships they're happening. I think they're happening. They should be happening. We're moving forward. It is Hump Day. Oh, that's right. It's Hump Day. Welcome to Hump Day. And I think we're ready, and I'm done messing around with all this stuff, guys. All right. Hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for coming back all the time. I appreciate it. If you're a Patreon member, remember, tomorrow, 4 o'clock, happy hour. It's happy hour sometime. I'll be sending out the link for that right after the show here. And besides that, we're gonna get right to it because I had spent the first 5 minutes trying to fix the link. Folks, your guest today is he's a friend of mine, John Knight. I've known him for years. I first met him at the Funny Bone. I want to say it was the Funny Bone in Naperville, maybe 75 years ago. I'm not sure how many years ago it was, but it was a while. He's a very funny comic. He's out of Pittsburgh, and I'll show you how funny he is. Let's take a moment and listen to my good friend right here. Here he is, the one and only John Knight.
My problem with using the self-checkout, I never seem to get behind anybody that actually knows how to use the machine. I went to self-checkout in a grocery store a couple weeks ago, right? And this idiot in front of me pulls his card up, and the first item he wanted to scan were grapes, right? Now, the grapes are wrapped, and there's a barcode, but it's not going through. Now how many times are you going to try before you give up? 4 or 5 times? Not this guy. 29, 30, 31. Then he puts the grapes back in the cart. He says, well, let's give another item a shot, right? Well, he gets the next item through, and that one scans, and the one after that, and he scans all the other items, right? And then he goes back and he grabs the grapes. Because probably they just need to rest for a while. Here he goes at 9, 10, 11. After about 15 more tries, he finally decides this item's not going to scan. Now, I would have waited if he wanted to go and get a different package of grapes, or if he wanted to get somebody that works at the store to help him. Not this guy. He's determined. He's going to do this on his own. Now he's on that screen where you can look up the different produce items, right? I look up, the man's nowhere near grapes. He's not going to find it. So I tried to help. I said, you know what, sir? Why don't you hit R? He said, why R? I said, because they're probably going to be raisins by the time I get to this stupid store.
Folks, that's the one and only John Knight. Here he is live right here on our screen. Look, there he is. Look, he's here.
Hey.
Hey, what's up? So,
How you doing, Lenny?
I'm good, man. I had usual technical
was it
issues.
Naperville? Which Naperville was it where we met?
I want to think.
Around.
I swear, I think it's the Funny Bone in Naperville. Bert Borth used to run it.
There was a Funny Bone, but he was in a hotel for a while, and then he moved.
No, the strip mall.
Freestanding building.
Yeah, it was in a strip mall. Yeah, it was in the corner of that little mall for a while. And I worked there. My wife was a waitress there. Actually, I got her the gig there. I was there doing a gig. I was there doing I took her there for Valentine's. This is fucked up. I took her there for Valentine's Day. I had a show, and I said, why don't we just go to my show and we'll go out to dinner afterwards? Well, they were slammed, and they asked her to wait tables. So she waited tables and ended up getting a job. Anyway, I know I met you at that club. I'm pretty sure that's the club where I met you at first.
Probably. It's been that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was gone. I was at the funeral.
The guy that owned it is now retired. That's how long ago it was.
I know. No, I know. He's doing something with the improvs or something, or he was in Buffalo. Bert. He's in one of my fantasy baseball leagues.
Bert, I think he's in Delaware, and I think he's retired.
Okay. All right. Good for him. Yeah, he's in my fantasy league. But yeah, I was at the funeral for that club. We had a funeral when it closed. Because that was one of the deals there. I guess they gave him a deal at that place was that strip mall. He kind of got pushed out of there. He's like, because there was a clause in the lease that said he could leave with a 60-day notice, or they could evict him with a 60-day notice or something. And somebody came in and offered a ton of money for that spot, and they said, well, if you want to match the money, you can stay. And he said no. He said, I'm not staying.
Yeah, why would you?
I'm leaving.
Doing comedy.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I remember calling Bert in the 90s. I would call him for gigs, and he would say, if you can't ride a unicycle or play guitar on a unicycle, he said, I can't hire you. That's all they're coming to see, and I'm down to 2 days a week. And
yeah. He used to book a bunch of those soap opera guys. Besides Walt Willey, there was a group of younger guys that were doing that soap opera thing. And I went and saw him one day, and I live near there. I live right by that club, so I used to go in and I go, what's with the? Why are you booking the soap opera guys? He's like, because they're sold out for 5 shows. That's why. I'm like, oh, all right. I guess I can't argue with that.
Yeah, they could do afternoon shows with them.
Yeah, they did little Q&A things, man. They used to sit down and the women would just ask those. It would be packed with soap opera fans, and they would ask questions for hours. They love those kids. But yeah,
when I was in LA, the last year I was there, the reason I left, we shot a pilot, and we were doing stuff on the internet, and the guy that we were working with that had the company that we sold the pilot with, he was doing soap operas. And I found out later that he had just gone. The only reason he was setting all this up is he was doing soap operas in New York, and he went to get an eye job and get his face fixed, and they told him disappear for a year, so it doesn't look so drastic that you just change so much.
Oh. No way, really? Like who's the woman?
Yeah, and then when we shot the pilot, he was taking most of the money because he already got rebooked on the soap opera, and he was taking all that money from our pilot to move back to New York.
Oh no! So you inadvertently got jammed into a scam or a kill time situation.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, pretty much. That's great. Everybody's got a story like that. Everybody's got those stories where somebody. Oh, here's another one.
This is my shot. He's going. Well, I'm going to New York. I don't give a shit about this.
Yeah, good luck with your shot. It's a really good quality product though. But I'm leaving once my eyes heal. My eyes heal, and I'm out of here. So how's it going, man? Are you in Pittsburgh?
No one will notice how much younger I got in a year.
They won't. It's always a year later. He looks different. Well, who's the actress that did that? What was her name? Did that the girl from the Tom Cruise movie, the Show Me the Money? Who I keep forgetting her name. That actress. Somebody will help me out on the board here.
Oh, Renee Zellweger.
Oh, Renee Zellweger. Yeah, she had she had so much work done. The security camera at her house didn't recognize her face. You know what I mean? So when she came home, they had to redo the whole security footage thing. You know, you walk up and they do the face recognition. It didn't even recognize her.
Well, the best story about that, I was reading, they were interviewing Bob Seger for Rolling Stone, and I was reading the interview, and they said, Bob, you get nothing done, your hair's gray, your teeth are a mess, and he said, I'm not getting anything done. He says, if people do that, it screws them up. He said, Kenny Rogers entered a Kenny Rogers lookalike contest, and he came in third.
I believe that's perfect. You're close. You're close, but your forehead's too tight. That's true.
You look nothing like Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, that guy looks. You look like a reasonable. You look like a Ken doll of Kenny Rogers, like a doll. Yeah, that was a drastic flip, man. But so what's up, man? Pittsburgh? You still in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I'm back here. We moved back in 2001. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I've been teaching for the last 3 years. I started teaching comedy classes, which has been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done.
Really? That's great, man.
And helping them. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Very cool. So it's do you do how did that go with COVID? Were you doing Zoom teaching or what did you do?
No, actually I was doing one at a college in March of last year, and they asked me if I could do Zoom, and we had done 2 classes. They said, you want to continue? There was 3 left. They said, you want to do the rest on Zoom? And I said, not really. I said, because the main thing I have to do, the main thing these people need work with is being comfortable standing in front of even a few people.
Sure.
Just standing. So it does I didn't want to do it on Zoom. So, I mean, it's just, that's the main thing. The main thing I see is people's nerve. They get nervous, and it's hard for them. And when I see they're really nervous, I make them stand there even longer.
Right. Oh, that's
just to
smart.
get comfortable.
That's smart, bro.
You know,
That's...
Can I be done? Can I be done? No. You stay there for a while.
You can't be done.
And by the fourth week, you could see how much more comfortable they feel, because at that point they know it's not like they're in front of a weird audience. They are all friends. They know each other, so they get more comfortable. So and that helps, I think, when they start going out and doing clubs, because they're a little bit more comfortable standing in front of people. So.
Yeah, that's cool. I took a class and I started out, and it was easier when you got to know the people in the class. And then when I went out, I remember I was scared I can't believe I was scared to death to get in front of people when I started. I was all freaked out. I used to look at the candles on the table, because they would tell you, the thing I learned in the class is don't look down. They always tell you don't look down. So I would look out in the room, but I would stare at other shit on the table, so it wouldn't look like I didn't want to look people in the face. It freaked me out. I can't believe that's a thing now.
Well, that's why I tell them, don't. I said, if it bothers you looking at people's faces, because I used to do this when I first started, not looking at candles, but I could actually blur. I could make my eyes blur, so I really wasn't. I would move them around enough so I didn't see anyone's faces.
Right.
I said, because here's the thing, you're going to notice. I said, you're going to look, and everyone will be laughing. There'll be one fucking person not laughing, and that person will get under your skin.
Yeah,
they'll be in your brain.
Yeah. It'll drive you nuts.
I said, and it might not be because they don't think you're funny. There was one, I was doing a club in Miami years ago, and there's a girl down front, and for the first 15 minutes, she just stared at me. And finally, I said, what, did I do something to offend you? And she says, and her friend says, no, she doesn't speak English.
I said,
well, good. Thanks for sitting her up front.
Yeah, you could have sat in the back.
Know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, things that get stuck in my head. My brother did that same thing. It was he had deaf people at his show once. A whole bunch of deaf people were at his show, and he's like, "Don't you people speak English?" And they're all like, "Oh, we don't speak. We're all deaf." He's like, "Okay," and it was like 20 people. We're like, "Why are you sitting up front?"
You've never had that on the ships where the woman stands in the corner and signs?
Yeah, they have rotate. They have two always, because for some reason they can only do 15 minutes each, I think. That's the deal. So one does 15 minutes, and then the other one sits down, they rotate, and the other one gets up and does 15 minutes. And yeah, they're either standing in front of you. Some ships have them on stage sitting next to you. And I'm always like, that's a bad idea. I go, I don't think they should be on the stage with me. You know what I mean? I think they should be down or if somewhere else. But some ships don't want you to make fun or talk to the person. Like I used to say stuff all the time to them. But all it takes is one person on a ship, man. When it takes one person to complain, suddenly it's like, oh, don't do that anymore. I'm like, oh, good, thanks. So you're not supposed to acknowledge the person standing 5 feet away from you signing while you're telling jokes.
Yeah, I know. I would always say this. Does this really mean fuck?
Yeah. It's the best way to get it across.
Like if I do this, they know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I used to yell fuck all the time just to see how she fuck. Everyone said fuck. Just see her respond.
They can read your lips. They know what you're saying.
Yeah, they know what's going on. Plus, they always laugh. Like the interpreters and stuff, the people signing, they always got a kick out of it. Because, you know what I mean? It was fun for them to hang out at the show.
Yeah, and they're getting the laughs.
Yeah, they exactly right. Yeah, you're not making fun of them.
The audience is laughing at us 3 minutes before them.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I'm killing.
Yeah. There's like 2 rows of people that are laughing really hard at them. Yeah. Just the time delay in that one little warp area.
I had that happen. I was working with remember when there were so many clubs everywhere? There was like 6 clubs in Pittsburgh, and there was one that they opened. It was originally the Huki Lau. It was like a Hawaiian. You went to see a Hawaiian show, and then you got Hawaiian food. And then they turned it into a comedy club. And I was there with Bobby Collins. I was opening for Bobby when I was starting, and they brought in the crowd, and they were all special ed people. And they laughed, but it wasn't at the right time.
Right, the
so
timing
would say
was
hello, and they would start laughing.
Right. They were just laughing inappropriately.
In the middle of a setup, they were,
and you just had to ride it out, right? And make sure it was all.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't say, what the fuck's the matter with you retards?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that would be a negative. You might get a few complaints on that situation.
Yeah.
No.
I'll probably get complaints from this now.
Yeah, really. I don't have that many viewers, man. Don't worry. There's not that many viewers that watch the show. No, we'll see. Oh wow, I got a whole bunch of hidden comments. So let's show those. Bam. So are you going to go back to teaching? Is that your plan? Is that do you have any idea?
I have a class going right now. I had to last week should have been I do a graduation show with them, but like we were talking about, I picked up that dry bar comedy, so I couldn't be there Friday. So we're going to do the last class and the graduation show next week, and then I'll probably do another one in July.
Can they do a lot? Can you guys do live shows there now in Pittsburgh? What are your rules? I don't know what your rules are there, COVID wise.
Well, the theater where I'm teaching at he's had no restrictions for months.
Really?
It's in the town where I grew up, and he's not really worried that someone's going to walk in and
bust him.
Nail
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so it's been pretty much open there. I guess the only major club here is the Improv, and I think they're 25 or 50. They just reopened for the first time in over a year.
Right.
And I don't know if they're fit. I know for the hockey it's 50% capacity. So I don't know if they're 50% or if they're too small.
I don't know.
I mean, you said when you were working in Vegas, when you did Brad's room, how big was the room you were in?
Well, Brad's was before they've changed restrictions twice since then. When I was at Brad's place, they were upstairs in the showroom, and people were 50 feet away from the stage, and they had to be spread out 10 feet each table. So we sat a little over 100 in that big room at tables, but they were really spread out. And then when I went back to Delirious,
yeah, but that room holds like 1,200, right?
Right. Yeah, it does. It's a giant room. That's why they went upstairs.
100 people.
Because they couldn't get, when they were downstairs in the regular room, they couldn't, with the spacing, they could only fit 20 people or whatever. You know what I mean? So they're like, well, if we want more people, we got to go upstairs. It made sense. You know what I mean? It wasn't that big a deal doing this. You couldn't see the crowd, when you're doing the show. It was that weird, you're playing to a room and you hear laughter. I mean, it was weird, but it was fine. But the rules have changed since then. They cut back. When I was there 2 weeks ago in Vegas, at Don's Club, they could have filled the room. He said we could. I think he said he could fill the room. He could have more. He could have more people, but we had 100 or so for a couple of shows. So the restrictions lightened up a little bit in Vegas. And from what I saw, now they're inside doing stuff without masks on and stuff in Vegas. So I don't. Every city's different.
Yeah, so
man.
it's going to open up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I heard, it's either going to be July 1st for sure in Vegas, and possibly June 1st. Everything's going to open. That's Rob Sherwood.
Yeah.
He opens for Carrot Top. He was telling me when they first went back, they had a 1,600 seat room, and the same thing. They had the moat in the front, and then there was 100 people allowed in a 1,600 seat room.
Jeez, that'd be brutal for Carrot Top.
He
you know
said,
what I mean?
Scott Carrot Top was bitching, and Rob said, "Shut up, I need check."
Yeah, really. I need to work. Hey, I'm sure you're okay, Scott, but can we muscle out a few of these shows so I can pay some bills?
Yeah, can we just we're back. Let's be happy.
Yeah, let's just be happy.
Better.
I get it. I understand that you don't really need to work right now, but yeah, I do. Yeah, I had Rob on the show. I had Rob on the show last. I remember it was the baseball playoffs because he was watching the Yankee game off the mirror while I was interviewing him, or while we were talking. And I know his wife Cindy. I know Cindy really well.
Yeah, Cindy from Chicago.
Right.
Yeah, Rob. I don't know how he's from Miami originally, but somehow I guess being from Miami, I guess all those old New Yorkers down there. I don't know if his parents are originally from New York. That's how he's a Yankee. Because I know he's a Yankee fan and a Dolphins fan.
Yeah, that's a weird mix. That sounds like a New York. That sounds like a Florida and New York guy. You know what I mean? That's exactly the type of vibe they pick up. So there's a lot of Yankee fans down there. You're right. All those Yankee guys go down there. That makes total sense. And a Dolphin fan. Why would you stay with that? That seems weird. All right. That's cool. Although I'm
That's how you grow up.
Yeah, it is how you grow up.
Again. Yeah.
That's my theory. I'm a Bears fan. I'll write out all the crap. I'm like, I know.
Bears fan. They haven't won since
Yeah, 85, dude. It's been a long time. It's been a while.
When you did Dry Bar, when we were out there with all those Mormons, and it's so weird because all I can think of from Brigham Young University is Jim McMahon.
Yeah, right. Isn't it weird? When we drafted him, I was like, who is this guy, this Mormon guy? But, yeah, he went the exact opposite when he got at BYU. He broke every rule, like, immediately. Well, he showed up.
He was no more.
No, he went his first meeting with Hallis. He showed up with a six-pack. That was the old story with him.
He's always walking around with a big beer in his hand and barefoot playing golf and a beer and a chew in his mouth.
Yeah, he was crazy. That guy's crazy. Yeah. I can't believe he made it through BYU. How did he get through 4 years of that school without some sort of...
He was good.
Yeah, that's why he was the quarterback. That's why he was the starting quarterback for the team. He's the only reason he skated through that whole area, or that whole time.
Yeah, because they can't even drink coffee or tea out there. It's supposed to be the rule.
Yeah, there's a lot of the hardcore Mormon rules are strict. You can't do nothing. Diet Coke, coffee, right? No caffeine.
Yeah, no caffeine, but you can marry as many wives as you want.
I guess that's okay. Yeah. Yeah, and when I was there, when I shot the Dry Bar special, they have an awful lot of coffee shops in that town. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, there's a ton. You know, so I was able to walk over to, there's a Starbucks and another one right next to it, and I'm like, what? It's a lot of coffee shops for a place where you're not supposed to have caffeine.
Yeah, someone's drinking it.
Yes. Well, there's a huge line every day. I got there. I'm like, these kids can't all be Mormons. This is not.
Yeah, they're not all Mormons.
There's no way. These guys,
Well, I was walking on that river walk, and you see some of them have the white shirts and the ties on Sunday, and then there's people with tattoos and cigarettes in their mouth.
Yeah. It's a great two ends of the spectrum. Just both right there. It makes sense.
Yeah, it's like leaving the Amish. When you leave, you just go nuts.
Yeah, it's totally. You go to the opposite. Yeah, it's a year of ignoring all those things. Well, it's that old. I had a buddy I went to high school with that got a full ride scholarship to go play football somewhere, and he was a straight laced kid through high school. Man, never drank, never did drugs, never did nothing. And he got to college, and 6 months into college, he discovered everything, and he ended up losing his scholarship. I mean, he jumped right off the cliff, man. You know, he had all the bases. It was rough.
Where's that? Well, look at what was Todd? Remember Todd Marinovich?
Yeah,
I remember reading with the kid when he first went to college. His parents he used to have to bring his own cupcakes to birthday parties that were sugar free. I mean, his dad was grooming him to be an NFL star.
Wow.
And when he finally got there and they gave him the money, he just, he never had he never had anything, and he just blew up.
Right. Yeah. Well, I was just reading the story. The Jamarcus Russell story. I just saw like a short documentary on him and his career, and I didn't realize how much of a bust he was as an NFL guy. He was the biggest. They call him the biggest bust in history. That guy. It was like that's pretty brutal.
I would think he actually played a couple years. Who's Ryan Leaf? I would put ahead of him.
Yeah, Ryan Leaf's a good one. I'll give Ryan Leaf credit though. You see him now. He's on ESPN. You know what I mean? He does commentary stuff all the time. He really also he does personal speaking. He fixed his life, changed his life, and really reinvented himself. He made a lot of changes. I told my brother when he came out. I remember this because he came out the same draft as Peyton Manning, and I told my brother.
Peyton Manning, they were 1 and 2.
Yeah, I told my brother at the time. I goes, dude, you mark my words, man. Peyton Manning is going nowhere. This Ryan Leaf kid, that kid. He plays in NFL. I had a whole reason why he was going to survive. It was all in 3 months. It was all gone. In 3 months,
it was done.
Yeah, it was totally done. Their stories came out day one.
Whatever happened to that Peyton Manning? I don't think much happened with Peyton Manning either.
he's still on ESPN every day. You know, he's still got sideshows and all kinds of other stuff going on. I was wrong.
Peyton's got that. His commercials and the Saturday, he was the funniest, one of the funniest hosts on Saturday Night Live when the video where he's throwing
with
the
kids?
Ball with the kids and he makes the kid. Yeah,
that's the best. I love that. Yeah,
get in the outhouse. I don't want to look at you anymore. Just stay in there. Don't pop your head out. He's just winging them at the kids.
Yeah,
you just don't have a clue.
That was very funny. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh man. So have you done any live shows, man? What are you doing work wise, man? As far as the stage, have you done anything live during this whole fucking shutdown? Where you been besides Dry Bar?
I did from February No, March 14th last year was my of 2020 was my last show. Everything shut down. Everything else got canceled. I had a few. Then there was, I don't know. For you, you probably were the same way. At first, you thought, well, this will only last a month, and I'll be back, and these dates will be good. And then those dates are gone. And then by like June, it's like, I don't think we're coming back this year. And we didn't. And I didn't do a show. I did the Poconos Valentine's weekend this year. And that was the first time I did a full show. I actually went last October. One of my students was doing an open mic night at the restaurant with like, social distancing. And I went and just tried to do a set, and I couldn't remember shit. Did you have that happen first time you went back?
No, the first show was rough, but the second show got easier. By the third was it. But I prepared going in. Did you just walk into an open mic and decide I'll go up and do 5 minutes or 10 minutes of stuff, or did you go over stuff?
Well, I glanced over my notes briefly, and I knew how it started. And right. I thought, well, that's all I need.
Yeah.
I always, once I start, I know how it goes. And then I start, and I did the first line. I said, I don't remember what comes after this.
Dude, you're the same. Everybody's
back. So when I did the next shows, I really looked at it and paid attention and went over it. Actually, the first shows I did, before I did those ones, I did 20 minutes. This guy, David Kay, who has a production company back here, he has an office, and we did in January of this year, we did in the window of his office, and people sat in cars. And
oh, right.
And he had the FM, they could listen on FM radio to us. And then if they liked the joke, they beep their horns and flick their lights.
Oh, okay.
I was killing.
Were you really?
I was getting so many honks.
This is the best. This is the way it should be. Honk, honk.
Man, I'm getting a honking ovation.
I didn't do any of those. I know some guys. Jimmy Schubert did a couple of those shows where people had to flash the lights for the laugh and honk and all that stuff. I can't imagine. It was.
Yeah, I thought Schubert was doing he was doing drive-ins.
Yeah, he did a drive-in. Yeah, he did that. Yeah, when there were cars in the parking lot, they were sitting out there. There's an old drive-in thing here. So where were you guys when you did the show? Where were you when you did the show and they were in the parking lot? Were you in the? Could they see you?
Yeah, in a window. We were standing in a window.
So you did a show from the window.
Yeah, we were in a window because it was January in Pittsburgh. Right. So it was cold. There was a little bit of snow on the ground, and we stood in the window. They were in their car with the heat on, and
dude, that's a whole new angle on that performance. I haven't heard that yet. I know a lot of people did indoor drive-thru type stuff, but the window is perfect for Pittsburgh in the winter too. The weather's shitty.
Oh yeah,
you know
that's
I mean?
the only way you could do it. You can't be outside.
Yeah, right, and nobody has to get out of their car.
Well, there was a drive-in doing them in Cleveland last summer, and I made the initial contact with them, and then right after that, I had to have cataract surgery last year. I was supposed to get it. This is what happens when you get old, Lenny. When you get old like me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
you mean
January
tomorrow?
Of 2020. Yeah. So I started doing I did the first part of getting the surgery, and then all surgeries got shut down because of COVID. They were closed the hospitals for elective surgery like that. So then summer of last year, I couldn't see when I was driving. I almost hit a tree that was on the road.
Oh, no.
Because there was like a big storm and this tree blew over.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm saying, why are all these cars going so slow coming at me? And then all of a sudden there's like, and I was like a foot from a tree, and I said, I better go get this done.
Yeah, right.
So I didn't follow up on the Cleveland because I didn't want to drive to Cleveland's 2 hours, and I said I can't drive 15 feet without
almost hitting a tree.
Yeah. So now I have perfect vision except for reading glasses.
Dude, that's great. Was it the LASIK thing you got done?
No, I got the cataract. They put new lenses in your eyes for cataracts.
I gotta look at it. My eyes are getting worse.
The guy that did my eyes told me, he said, here's how they discovered it. He said in World War II, in those fighter jets that had the plastic dome over them,
yeah.
He said when they would get shot and the shrapnel would get in people's eyes, they realized that it wasn't affecting them. Nothing happen. They could just leave it in there. So they decided that they could make lenses and replace your lenses in your eyes. I don't know if they take them out and they put a new one
Oh,
in.
I see. Right. Okay. So it's almost like a permanent contact lens. It goes over your.
Yeah,
Kinda
which is
like
nice.
that.
I don't have to wear contacts anymore.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's gotta be good.
Yeah.
Dude,
I just have to wear the magnifiers to read.
I could live with that.
Which was the only thing I could do. If I held if I was looking at my phone, I could hold it up to my face and I could see it. Now I can't see that.
Well, you can only make the font so big. You know what I mean? Like I make my font really, really, really big, and then you realize it's ridiculous. You know, my daughters give me shit all the time. They're like, "What is this?" I go, "Don't, just shut up. Leave me alone. I can't see."
I was your I saw it was your daughter's 17th birthday, right?
Yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I told her happy birthday.
Yeah, I saw that. Thank you, man. Yeah, she was very happy. We spent the day at Universal, so she got a bunch of. She was good. It was a good day for her. It's a good week. I'm taking.
Now, how is it? What is that like? Universal when you go there? Do they have?
It was
social distancing.
Yeah,
you have to wear a mask.
Well, they only I think they're only letting so many people in. This is the second time we've been there in the last 2 or 3 months. I think they just opened up again. I want to say in March or April, and they were doing appointments. Like the first time we went, I made an appointment back in March, and we went. We had a special appointment, but yesterday was the first day with no appointments. So we went, and you just walk in, and what they did do is they give us I have my card, where they gave us all new cards because the expiration dates changed. They added. What do they add? 5 months onto the back end of the card because of the shutdown last year. You know what I mean? Because they owe everybody a couple of months.
Yeah.
So I assume they're letting less people into the park because there's not that many people in the park when you're walking around the park. So there's a lot, it's great. Here's where it sucks, I think, is when you stand in line for a ride, it takes longer because they seat people, one family or group per car. And if it's you and one person, they won't fill the row. Like if there's 8 rows of seats, they only put two people there. So the holdup that's the holdup. The ride for the lines or the lines for the rides are ridiculous because they have to social distance. Also inside the building, like when you snake around outside, it's one thing, but when you get inside, they're not snaking people inside. Like these parks, man, they find a line everywhere. If you're staying in line for a park, they'll make another 50 feet of line in the level below you or whatever, but they can't do it inside. So they do it outside. And when you get inside, it's a clear walk, but then they social distance. So the lines are longer, but besides that, everything else was great at the park. Everything was fine. They were sanitizing everything like crazy. Everybody's running around with masks on. So it was fine. We liked it the first time we went. The only thing was the lines, man. And I can't stand standing on those lines for the.
I hate the lines, and then when there's no people there and you're still in line.
Yeah, this is annoying.
You don't have anyone sitting next to you. That's the only thing I'm gonna miss about COVID is the 6 feet apart.
Yeah, there's a lot of other things. I'm gonna miss having an excuse not to go anywhere. I love that. I can't because I think I have a cough. You know what I mean? You could get out of anything this last year. I'm never happier when people forget to tell me about a party. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always, when people forget to invite me somewhere, I'm like, oh, that's too bad. And I just stay home. I've gotten to that point where I don't care. But now with everything's open, there's no more, it just takes away some of the excuses. You know what I mean? It takes away, you can't go. I don't want to go. It's going to be crowded. No, it's okay now.
Yeah, we can go. We're vaccinated.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I might just carry a mask around with me
vaccinated?
for an excuse. Yeah.
Did you vaccinate? Yeah.
I'm full, so I got both.
Yeah, we went out. Yesterday, me and my wife went out to dinner for the first time in over a year.
Wow, nice. That's good.
Yeah, it was nice, and we were sitting there, and nobody had masks on. I don't know if everyone was telling the truth that they were vaccinated, but it doesn't matter because we are.
Right.
And we were saying, my wife said, isn't this just like, it's like we just went right back to normal.
Yeah, I know. I was in a bar Friday night. I went out with a buddy for a couple of drinks. We went one place to have a drink and sat down, and that place is pretty good social distancing. Then we went to another bar that we used to hang out a lot at, but we haven't gone to, obviously, much in this last year. And, man, that bar was fucking packed. I mean, it was packed, and no one had a mask on. And it was busier than it was before there was COVID. I don't remember that place ever being that busy. It was just insane. We were there maybe about half an hour. I'm like, I can't even, and I don't like a packed bar either. I'm not the guy that's Like, hey, there's a lot of people. It's a blast. No, I don't. You know what I mean? I like it quieter. You know, like I'm a beer and shot guy. You know,
Yeah, I do too.
yeah, I like it a little mellow. You know, I don't need loud music and a lot of people bumping into me and shit. I don't. You know, I'm not a fan. So I'm like, we got to get out of here. We got to leave.
Yeah, even when I was younger and we would go on the road and then we would go out after the shows and they would take you to some place with the boom, 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 you know, the loud music, and you couldn't, and you had to get right in someone's face and talk. It's like, fuck this, let's go somewhere quiet.
Yeah, this is horrible.
Isn't there a dive bar where I could just sit and have a conversation?
Yeah, those are the best, man. Just maybe a pool table, maybe a dartboard. I don't care, but just a bar, you know, some shitty popcorn or something where you can just sit down and talk like human beings. You don't have to scream like we do. Well, that was the thing on the cruise ships where sometimes you would go to those crew bars. Those crew bars used to be just pounding with that electronic music. I'm so old. Electronic, is that what it's called? The techno? I don't know. The club,
I know what you mean.
The club music, but it was so loud that you would go there and you would literally scream at each other. And I'm like, I can't do this every night. If I have shows every night, I can't be in the bar screaming till 2 a.m. That doesn't make any sense.
What about, have you been on the ships where you walk into the crew bar and they're having Filipino karaoke night?
Yeah. But at least with those, there's always a handful of people that are really talented. Like, you may be amazed how many stewards and cooks that are really good singers or dancers or performers.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, but every once in a while, you'll get somebody that'll sing, and then you're like, that's when I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta.
Yeah, well, someone sounds like Yoko Ono.
Yeah, and they're clapping.
Time to go.
Yeah, this is a terrible thing to do. So, yeah, man, I don't know. Are you going back to ships? Are you going to go to ships if they offer?
I will see. What was nice is right before the last 2 years. Before this happened, I didn't do any ships. I had gotten myself off ships between the teaching and doing like fundraisers. I had enough work that
Good.
I was survive. I was doing fine, and I actually had 2 rooms I was starting to book. And so I don't know. My wife's telling me you're not going back on the ships. I said maybe in the fall, because there's nothing. Nobody knows what's going to open yet. You know,
yeah,
it's so weird. I have a few bookings, but nothing. And people, and I just booked Ann Arbor. Did you ever work Ann Arbor for Roger?
No.
It's a great club, great guy, and he told me, he said, I don't have much money. We almost went under in February, and he says, if you can come in for this, and I said, yeah, that's fine. I said, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I don't have anything else right now, so I'll take it.
Yeah,
he's a good guy. I told him, I said, I'll do it for you because you're a great guy.
Right.
You know, if it was some scumbag that you know is just lying to you and trying to screw you, but I know he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
He's doing the best as he can.
Yeah, that's good because there's a couple guys out there I know that I didn't like that are going under, and they're trying to do fundraisers and like, hey, come on out and do this show, or you want to do a Zoom? And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't want to do.
Not for you.
Not for you. There's people I know, like you. There's plenty of guys you know that are good that can find it, you know, or that I'll do it for. But for a guy, some guys you're like, nah, I'm good. I'll pass. But
did you send in the video? Did they ask you to do a video for Bert Hayes when he retired?
I did do a video for Bert Hayes. I did. Bert was one of those guys, dude. I got along with Bert well. He was really good to me. I was very fortunate. Bert, I'm surprised he could have fired me like 3 times. The last time for sure I thought he was going to fire me, but he was just So he's always been good to me booking wise. He never has. When I got divorced and my kids moved back to Chicago, I called them up because I used to do all the clubs back to back. I would do all 3 and then come back home to LA. So when the kids moved to Chicago, I said, look, I don't want to do all 3 anymore. I'll spread them out throughout the year. Come home once for a birthday, once for Christmas or whatever. And he basically gave me every date I asked for like 2 years. It was really, he was good to me.
Well, it's cool. Yeah, I mean, for years, when I was doing like Naperville, when I was doing all Bert's rooms, I would call Bert Hayes and I'd say, hey, Bert, can I come work for, why don't you come out and see me? You're going to be in wherever he was. They were like in Vernon Hills. It's just, I'm right 10 minutes away. Come watch my set. I'd like to work for you.
Right.
And, yeah, all right, John. And never did it. And I kept bugging them, give me. And then I went in 1999. I did the Chicago Comedy Festival. and I did a bunch of shows at Zany's for that. And at the end of the week, Bert said, "Hey John, I want to ask you something." I said, "What's that?" He said, "Why didn't you ever work for us?" I said, "You motherfucker."
Seriously?
Yeah, I said, I said, "I've tried for fucking years to get in this room."
I've been trying. Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, I saw him last time I saw him. September of 2019 was the last time I was back that way, and there was Larry Reeve had a barbecue.
Oh, that's great.
And Bert was there.
Yeah, of course.
Making fun of Bert. They said, "Bert, you're the only one that ironed their jeans to come."
He probably was for the big cookout.
Yeah.
Did he have a seam, little crease in his jeans?
Yeah. That was funny. Larry was cooking. Larry's got a gardening glove on that he's cooking on the grill with.
That's just big safety. So gardening glove.
Yeah, did you ever meet Larry? Larry has a brother who's actually a little bit more attractive than Larry. Right. So Nick Hayes, he says, you must be the brother that survived the fire. And Larry, he's got the glove on and the spatula. He goes, "You bastard!
You bastards!
Our house really did burn. Our house really did burn down.
That's a true story.
We had to live in a cardboard box for 6 months. Then the cardboard box blew away. We were on the streets, you bastards."
That's perfect. Oh man, of course, hilarious. Yeah, I had Larry on here a while ago. I didn't have Bert on here, man, but I did do a video for him and sent it back. I was just glad that Chris is booking. The person that's booking Zany's now is Chris Lang, who I know well, and this is the first time in my 32-year comedy career that a club booker is left, and I know the one taking over. You know, you're in that situation where somebody leaves, and you're like, oh, God. And you call up, especially a club you've been working for a long time. You're like, hey, I've been working here for like 15 years. And they're like, oh, well, let me take a look at your tape and we'll figure. And you're like, oh, good. That means I'm never.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get you in.
Yeah, that means I'm not coming back. So when I heard Chris she was a waitress in Pheasant Run for a while, and then she was managing Pheasant Run right up till they closed.
She managed, and then she took over Pheasant Run
when Cindy left.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's cool.
And she's been around a long time too. Chris has been with Zany's for years. So. But she's doing the booking now for both Rosemont and downtown. So I don't know what Bert's
I guess they're only open. They're only like half capacity or something right now.
Yeah, they're low. I've got them in July. I got them in Rosemont in July, and by then they might open up a little bit more. But they got another. You know, Rosemont. I think the rules are stricter than the city. I don't know anymore. It's hard. Every city. I was just in Little Rock. You know, there's no rules in Little Rock. You know what I mean? They don't. Although the owner's being like Jeff, who runs the room, he's being careful because they told him they lifted all their mandates in Little Rock or in Arkansas, and they said you can fill the room if you want. He's like, we don't want to fill the room. we're not going to go full right now, and he's kind of slowly working his way up because a lot of these guys got hit where they opened and then they had to close again, or they closed and then they had to open. That happened here in L.A. They closed, they opened up clubs, and they gave people a bunch of rules they had to follow. And they go, here's what you got to do. You got to have plexiglass. You got to have all this shit. So places went out and bought this stuff and redid the restaurants, and were open for like 6 weeks, and they closed them again. And then so they closed all these places, and they're standing around going, we bought all this equipment. You told us, we told us what to buy, and now we got to turn around and close. So they're afraid to open all the way. Everybody's afraid to do anything because if you go too far, you got to shoot back the other way, and then they're screwed.
Yeah, we were going to do a show last summer. It was just going to be the 4 best comedians in Pittsburgh at this, and it's like an ice arena. I think he can hold like 1,000, and we figured we could spread out 200. And then the week of the show, they passed new rules that we could only have 20. You were only allowed 25 people inside any building, and that included the staff.
Oh man!
So
really?
There was 2 bartenders and a waitress and a manager and an owner. You could have, and 3 comedians. You could have about 16 people. So
that doesn't sound very profitable. What were you charging per head?
No.
Like $700 a ticket?
Yeah, it's like Steve Martin's bit doing Yankee Stadium. It's what was it, like $200,000 a ticket? One show, goodbye.
All right, I like it. Let's go to the board,
So
man.
you're working a lot?
It's just starting to pick up now, man. I did Vegas, like I said, I did a week of Vegas. I booked a bunch of club stuff going up to August, hoping the ships would take off in August or September. I spent most of the last year trying to get myself in a situation where I didn't have to go back to ships, but it looks like I'm gonna have to go back to ships. I mean, I like the ship gig, but my daughter's
anywhere besides Carnival.
I just booked. I just got the confirmation. I also work for Levity, which is Norwegian. So I just picked up a month from them. So if everything goes well, I'll be on their ship. I'll be on the Joy from August 19th to September 20th, right around there. That's 4 weeks. So that's the next first.
Yeah, it's better. I mean, they're a step above Carnival.
Well, I love Carnival. I'm not going to badmouth Carnival live on the internet. I'm not going to do that right now. I think they're a great company. They're the best. I know guys are already getting dates from Carnival. But I'm fine with kind of skate. I was almost what I really wanted to do was to let other guys do the first couple months and figure out how it's going. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to book enough club work.
And see,
whether it was
work. Al Katz was telling me they were talking about early on you were gonna have to come on and do 2 weeks under quarantine, not leave your cabin for 2 weeks.
Right.
And then the guys that they didn't find hanging in there.
Go see if any of the comics aren't hanging. See if they want to do some time.
Yeah, see, he's dangling.
He's dangling. We got 3 hangers. I got one guy who can do an hour. He's coming up now. That's horrible.
It was they were talking. You got to do 2 weeks quarantine, and two or 4 weeks on, and then go home and do 2 more weeks quarantine at home, and start it all over. So.
Yeah. Well, they keep moving the numbers around and stuff they're doing. Like with Norwegian, I don't have to be quarantined. There was 2 different contracts, and so far they don't want me to be quarantined when I get on the ship. But like Royal was offering guys 6-month contracts, and that was get on quarantine for 2 weeks, get on the ship for 6 months, and then get off. And I'm not doing a 6-month contract. There's no way I'm taking
No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, my agency called and said, what's the longest you would go out for? Are you vaccinated, and how long would you go out for? I said, I'll go for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't want to go long. That's a long time.
No, that's too long. I think most comics I've talked to are willing to do like 4 weeks. I toyed with the idea of maybe doing 6, but I don't even know if that's a good idea. Because anything over 3 for me is usually that last week is not. I just don't like being on a ship that long. That 4th week is rough. You know, I don't do that much.
Yeah, it's just the people don't realize. People that go cruising and go, "Oh, this is great. Oh, you get to do this all the time." Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I do. Doesn't even sound good. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Thanks. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, look, it's the 7th time I've been to Cozumel this month.
Yeah, there were a bunch of those where we were in Nassau one week and somebody says. And you know the crowd. Well, the guests are partying all week, so they get up and they're drinking right away. You know what I mean? And I'm not drinking all day. I'm not. They're like, let's go drink. And I'm like, no, I have 2 shows like in an hour.
Yeah, I have 2 shows, 3 shows, whatever you have. It's like.
But I can't. I don't want to do.
I was on the one ship where we did shows. You go. It was the Freedom for Carnival, and Sunday night you did the Welcome Aboard show, and one of us would do the late show.
Right.
Then you were off Monday, and Monday we went to Key West. And Key West is the best day to be off and not have shows.
Right. Yeah, Key West is a good day because you can spend all day walking around the island. That's a good day. Yeah, but like you get to the point where some ports I just stop going to. Period. Like there's a bunch where I get off all the time and get lunch because you got to first of all that's the other thing people don't realize after 3 or 4 weeks, 3 weeks on a ship, you want to just get off to get a sandwich or something. You know what I mean? You want to get off to get any food from anywhere because
food is not on the ship.
Right? Yeah, you get after 2 or 3 weeks, man. It's like anywhere else you are. It all kind of tastes the same. You know what I mean? It's just too much. So you get off the ship to get something.
Yeah, they don't change the menu. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Monday, whatever day, whatever the first day of the cruise, second day of the cruise, it's always the same.
Yep.
Same menu.
Yeah, they rotate those buffets around. Let me see if there's any questions on the board. People ask questions. Let's see what we got here. Okay, here's a question for you, John. There's people who watch the show on a regular basis, man, and every once in a while they throw out a question. So I'm going to throw you a question. Here's
Okay.
one. Here's the simplest one. How did you get into comedy, John? Do you remember that?
How did
far
I
back?
get into it? Well, this is true. When I was a kid, I was a fat kid. And that was before children. This is when very few children were fat. There were no video games, so I was
right.
like one of the few that was fat. So kids would tease me about being fat. So I developed a sense. I realized I had a sense of humor, so I could make them laugh. And my friends would say, "You should be a comedian." When I was like 11 years old, 12 years old. And then when I was 14, I wanted to see George Carlin live. Me and my two friends went on the bus into Pittsburgh, and we saw George Carlin, and I think it was like 75. And I said, that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, that's awesome.
What I'm going to do. Yeah, and then when I was in college, went to college at Duquesne, and during my senior year, I started doing open mic nights. I have to try this before I graduate, because if I just come out and I have a job, I'm going to regret it, because this is what I wanted to do. And by the end of my senior year, I was starting to get work.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, it took me. I think within a month I was getting. Well, because what was helpful was there was the Pittsburgh Comedy Club, and they had taken all the comedians that were established already that were doing. There was a place called the Portfolio, and it was Dennis Miller and Billy Elmer and Billy Martin and Randy Lubis and some other people. So when the Pittsburgh Comedy Club opened, all those guys went over there, and then the Funny Bone opened here in Pittsburgh, and they told the Pittsburgh, it was too close to the Pittsburgh Comedy Club, so they told them, if you go over there, don't come back. So none of them would cross over. So the Funny Bone the only people they had was Zito and Bean left and got the job as house MCs. If they weren't MCing, they could middle. And so they needed people over there. So I was doing it. I started doing open mics there, and I was doing it for like 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And he had Christmas open, and he says, you could probably do enough time. You want to get paid for a week. And he gave me, it was like Christmas was on Saturday, so it was Christmas Eve Friday. So he had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and he gave me $20 a show to do 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And that was my first pay.
Yeah, right on.
Because those other guys wouldn't cross over, so I was filling a void.
Yeah.
That he needed people, and I was able to do it. So
it was like a new market. You just came in, you know what I mean? It's a whole different market. That's funny. God, these two.
Yeah, because I didn't care if the Pittsburgh Comedy Club doesn't hire me. I don't have any.
Right.
I'm not in with you, and I would be at the bottom of your list even if I was.
Yeah. Right. So what I have to jump through your hoop. That's funny. That's good.
Yeah.
Good. That's cool. That's sweet. So there you go. All right. There's the question. That was Brenda Runyon that asked that question. She asked that question, and then.
Thanks for asking, Brenda. I hope I answered it for you.
Yeah, you did. That was good, man. All right, man. I don't see any other questions. Someone asked if we worked together before. Yes, we did. We worked at the Funny Bone. I don't think we worked on a show.
Yeah, on Carnival.
Did we do Carnival together?
Carnival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pre-Dave Carlo days.
Yeah, before Carlo got rid of me.
Right. He got rid of a lot of people. Got rid of me for a while. All right, that's all the questions.
Yeah, well, because he was taking commissions, that's why he got fired.
That's what I heard. I keep hearing all the different side stories about him. Yeah, he denies.
I didn't know. I just because Dave is going on to take, he's moving on to bigger and better things. And then when I was in Lincoln City, Oregon, doing the show and the woman that booked that and the guy that was middling for me, they started talking about him, and he said, "Oh yeah, he got fired." Because he was double and triple dipping. He was taking commissions.
Yeah, he was getting a chunk of money from all the guys he was booking. Another 10%.
Yeah, that's why everyone was. Because I remember the cruise directors would say he stopped taking the request sheets because there was 10 people that you asked for to come back, and there was 10 you said don't ever send them back, and they kept telling me, why do I keep getting the 10? I say don't send them back. Well, because they're paying commissions.
Yeah, there you go. That makes sense. Well, that explains why I wasn't getting much work done because I wasn't kicking back any money to him. So.
Yeah, I wasn't paying him, and I was just one of the people. He just said, "Well, I'll get rid of him."
Yeah.
I think he got sick of seeing, because I know everyone said, I put you on my request sheet. Why are you not getting here? I think he got sick of seeing my name on the request sheet and said, fuck him, I'm getting rid of him.
Yeah, can't deal with this headache every few weeks. You're gone. You're out.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, man. I don't have any other questions, man. Well, let me ask this. You just did the dry bar. Is that your first dry bar that you just did last week?
Yeah, it was the first one.
What do you got? You got an album or something now that people can find online? Can they go to your site? Can they buy John Knight merch somewhere?
Go to whataggravatesme.net. Whataggravatesme.net. You could also get their .com. The reason is .net is because when I was trying to get .com, and I think because there was two guys trying to have the guy setting up my website, and my other friend three of us were trying to get that site, whataggravatesme.com. And all of a sudden, it was $2,000. I think because three people were searching for it at once.
Right.
So one guy said, well, check whataggravatesme.net. So I checked that, and it was $14. So I said, well, fuck, I'll get the one for $14. And then 3 weeks later, I get an email saying, hey, since you have .net, do you want whataggravatesme.com? And I was like, well, I don't want to pay $2,000. No, you can have 14. Well, if you would have given it to me for 14 in the first place. So you can get there to .com, but it's what aggravates me. Just lowercase,
here it is.
Whatever. What aggravates me. And I have a book. I have shirts I sell that say what aggravates me. And I have videos on there. I write articles. There's a video where a good one. Check out my ventriloquism that I was working on during COVID. That's a funny video.
Your ventriloquism?
I also invented a spray. What's that?
Your ventriloquism, is that on your site here? I'm looking for it now.
Yeah, you could just look up ventriloquism aggravation under the videos. There's also one where I invented a spray that keeps Jehovah's Witnesses away from your home. It's called Jehovah Way.
Oh, man, there's a lot of categories. Oh, look at all this stuff. Oh, wow, right on, dude. How come I couldn't find this? Why I couldn't find this earlier? This is really annoying to me. Well, which one is the one you said? Which one is the one you suggested?
The ventriloquism aggravation. Ventriloquist aggravation.
Almost got it. Glasses. I'm going to find it. This is ridiculous. Hang on. Because I got your cigar thing queued up. I found the cigar video, which I thought was really funny. Repair, social media, technology, videos. Found it. All right, hold on. Dude, hold on. I'm going to show this now. Can I show it now? Do you mind?
Yeah, go ahead, show it. I'll go pee.
Yeah, why don't you go pee? Dude, hold on. Dude, we help each other out. I didn't even realize that was going to work out perfectly for you. All right.
Yeah, look at that.
Okay, everybody wins. Okay, this is ventriloquism aggravation from John Knight. Here we go. See if I can get this to go. Bam. Bam. Okay, this is good. All right, man. Here we go. Bam.
Hi, John Knight. During the downtime, I decided to add a little something to my act, so I started practicing ventriloquism. Now, I don't have a dummy right now.
Aren't you the dummy?
Shut up. No, I have my dummy on order, so I've been practicing on things.
You can't do ventriloquism.
I can do ventriloquism. Watch me. I've been practicing on things around the house. I call this guy Senior Pierre.
Nobody could see you talk.
Because of the pandemic, I have to wear a mask. But this is Senior Pierre.
No, it's not. It's a nutcracker for Christmas.
All right, but he's a Senior Pierre. That's what I call him.
Doesn't look like a Senior Pierre.
He's French. Aren't you French? Oui. Hey, Senior Pierre. I understand you get up quite a bit during the night now. What are you doing all night? Oui.
Oh, that's really funny.
It is funny. He's getting older. It's his prostate. He has to get up. Do you know Senior Pierre also speaks Spanish? Don't you speak Spanish? Si.
Oh, you know, that's just really stupid.
It's not stupid. This is good. This is going to be in my act.
You can't see anybody talking.
You could see Senior Pierre.
No.
Senior Pierre, I heard you used to work on cruise ships. When you were on a ship, what did you float on? C.
Oh, that's really, really
This is killer stuff.
ridiculous.
Senior Pierre is not my only person I have. I also have Pandemic
That's
Panda.
my bear.
It's Pandemic Panda.
No, that's my bear. What are you doing?
Shut up. Let me ask him a question. Pandemic Bear, what do bears eat? Honey. Where does honey come from? Bees.
Okay, that's enough of
This
this.
is good stuff.
No, you're ruining my bear with that stupid scarf on.
Hey, I think she's let's think of a word that we could call her. I think it begins with what letter?
Let's think of a word that we could end this with.
B.
Let's see how we can end this now.
Why don't you end this?
Put my bear down, please.
Shut up.
You shut up.
You suck.
You suck. Bye.
Is that your wife?
Yeah, it's my wife. Like you have your wife on at the beginning.
Dude, I love it.
Oh,
That's-
everyone, we do all these videos together. Everyone says, your wife's the funny one.
She is funny. Dude,
She's funny, yeah.
she plays it. She plays that angry thing. Really, they play that really sarcastic tone,
great.
that heavy tone. That I don't think so. That's really good.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. You don't have to buy. I've been putting up with it 24 hours a day for a fucking year and a half.
How's that work? How's that working? How's quarantine going for you?
I'm still here. I didn't shoot if I had a gun, I would have blown my brains out. But.
All right, man. Hold on. I want to show you your website. This is really cool looking. Hold on. Let me fix this. Let me fix that. There we go. That's John's website right here. Let me see if I can move this around correctly without any problems. Where's it? Yeah, there we go. All right. Dude, I love your website.
Hey, you get one of my books. My book's really good. People love my book. I'm still aggravated, but at least I didn't kill anybody.
That's good. Why is that not working? Oh, here we go. Oh, that'll do it. There we go. What's the name of the book? Say that again.
What aggravates me? I'm still aggravated, but at least I didn't kill anybody.
Dude, that's the best. This is why I couldn't find your site. I'm so pissed. I would have found this earlier, man. I got one more video to show you. Oh, here are the classes. Cool. So you can go to your website also to check out John's classes. And I would assume you got to be in the Pittsburgh area to take the class, correct? Because since
yeah, unless they want to drive, unless they want to commute.
Okay, sure. All right, I don't want to block anyone out. That's good. All right, here's all John's websites. Also, a lot of would you consider yourself a blogger? Because you write a lot. You write a lot of comments and a lot of articles that you put on your site. So
yeah, I do. I usually write. I didn't write one last week because I was busy with the dry bar thing. I'll probably write one tomorrow. Put it out Friday.
Okay.
There's the last one I did was about the meteor that I thought was going to hit me, or the Chinese space junk that was.
The broken down.
Yeah, I thought for sure I was getting hit because things were going too good for me. But I have another. I also wrote an article about Gwyneth Paltrow's scented candle that smells like her vagina.
Right. Okay.
Which I didn't know. I didn't know there was a market for that. It's like guys are like, well, I'm never gonna meet her, but boy, I'd like to get a whiff of that.
Yeah, I don't do it. Don't buy a cheap knockoff at the dollar store. Yeah, it's not Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh yeah, the one I got smelled like Roseanne's ass.
That can't be right. You're like, this doesn't sound good at all. This is not a good smell. I can't believe there's a market for this. All right, man. Oh, I want to show this video before I get out of here. This one, dude, first of all, I love What Aggravates Me. It's a great idea for a website. So we'll put what I do is after the show in the bio, in the description of the video, I'll make sure there's links to your website. Where can they get your book, man? Can they get it through the site, or can you go to Amazon, or what's?
Yeah, you can get it through the site. Just go under things. I think it's things for sale or merchandise. There's just a link. There's a link on there.
Items for sale.
Yeah, there it is.
An aggravated T-shirt. I like that. There we go. I'm still aggravated.
And there's my book.
God, there we go. Right on, man. Yeah, you can get it through Outskirts Pub, Amazon, and Barnes & Noble. Very cool. All right,
Yeah, you
now.
could get it. You could get it on Amazon Kindle, so you could. It's like $2.
Okay.
If you,
Cool. I'll make sure all the links are in there. But I'm going to show this. This is another video. This is a cigar video I found of you online under the Jagoff site. What is, I don't know what that, did I read that right?
yeah, well, I was on the podcast I was doing called the Jagoff,
Right.
which is a popular podcast. Well, you know, in Chicago you use that word.
The word Jagoff is a Chicago, Pittsburgh word. Yeah. Yeah, there aren't many cities you use that word, but you use it all the time. Jagoff, too, with a G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jagoff. So I was
on
on the Jagoff thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, show this video because I have an interesting story about that too.
Cool. All right, man. Here we go. This is John Knight again. Let's take a look at this video. Bam.
You know, these anti-smoking laws are getting out of hand these days. The state of Oregon is trying to pass legislation where you could be arrested just for smoking a cigarette in public. Why stop there? Why not put the person to death? That way at least they could have one last cigarette while they're waiting to be executed. Oh wait, you know what? You can't do that anymore. They don't allow you to have one last cigarette. I guess they're worried about your health. Here's the thing. I just finished a nice meal. All I wanted to do was have a cigar afterwards. Now here I am walking around for 20 minutes trying to find a spot. I finally find this little out-of-the-way place where I don't think I'll bother anybody. It's not ideal, but hey, I don't have to do. You know what? The thing is, I understand maybe you don't enjoy a cigarette. Cigarettes stink, but we all love the sweet smell of a cigar. Am I right?
Bunch of whiners.
Hey, you can't smoke in here. You're not allowed to smoke in here.
Really?
No, sorry.
Hold the elevator.
That's beautiful. I love that. that video's you.
When we sold the pilot, I was doing a thing called Nightline for this website that we had, and we did a website with little videos that was like ahead of its time.
Right.
It was before people had Wi-Fi and everything, so you had to download. Anyways, so when we sold the pilot, the one I had done was I was talking about the movies where there was too much toilet humor, and at the end, the reveal was I was sitting on the toilet the whole time. So it was like that kind of a joke, and so we sold it to Viacom, and when they bought it, we wanted to do this video. This was the idea for me to be smoking a cigar and bitching about non-smoking. And reveal would be I was in the elevator. And they said, no, you can't do smoking. Dennis Leary does smoking. And the guy that was head of Viacom says, no, he's the guy on the toilet. So, and the ending was always going to be I was going to be on the toilet. He didn't get the irony of the part that I was making fun of toilet humor, and then I was on the toilet. He just thought anything I talked about, and I would end up I would be on the toilet. He was a fucking executive. Big house in Malibu, I heard.
Yeah.
You know, this is a big picture window looking out at the ocean. A fucking idiot.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. Those are the guys that they have the big picture because they greenlight everything, and then they always got to change. They got to change things. They got to look at Tom Rhodes. I was just watching. There were clips of Tom Rhodes' old show on here, Mr. Rhodes, the teacher thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He was never a teacher. He ended up being a teacher in high school. He's like, what the? He was probably. I listened to everybody, and suddenly I'm a teacher in high school, and you know these people get involved. And they always give a rep, like they talk about. It was Roseanne and some other people that said that they were difficult. Even Chris Titus on some levels. They go, he's really difficult to work with. And I'm like, well, that just means he won't do what you're telling him to do. That they always find these creative people that are successful and built a character or built a career, and then they try to make it a TV show and change it all. And then if they won't change, they go, well, he's being difficult. Well, no, he created the character. He's the guy. He's the guy that wrote it all.
Yeah, he's the guy. It's his show.
Yeah, it's all. Everything is his.
He doesn't like to shit your hand in him.
No, yeah, everything that's been done up to this point has been great. Now you're involved, and now it's wrong. How you're right. That's always some 26-year-old kid. No, I know comedy. Here's what you should do. You don't know comedy. Please don't do that.
Well, then they have all these young writers. Billy Gardell told me this story before. It wasn't Mike and Molly. It was some show he was working on before that, and he said, the one guy who he was working with, he was doing a pilot. that didn't get picked up. But the guy that was working on it with them had written on MASH, had written on Dick Van Dyke. He was an older guy, and he was doing it. And he told me, Billy told me that this guy got hired for some other show, and he went in, and he was just there to punch things up. And he said, well, so what's the premise this week? And they said, well, whoever it was going to go away and get stuck in a cabin in the woods. And he said, well, when we did this on this show, we did it this way. When we did Stuck in the Cabin on this show, it went this way. When we got stuck in the cabin on this show, and he gave him like 5 examples. And everyone's just staring at him like, why would you even bring this up? And when he came back from lunch, he got fired. Because he told these kids they didn't invent the fucking wheel.
Yeah. Yeah, they thought they were being creative. I have a great idea.
Yeah, look.
Something's never been done before. Look, a guy stuck in a cabin. He's like, all right, well, here's 19 examples of stuck in cabin.
Yeah.
And which scenario would you like to go with? Yeah. But that's a power thing though too. This kid, they got to be in charge. It's like the second they hire you and they bring you on board, or not bring you on board, but the second they buy your product. That's why a buddy of mine pitched a pilot, and he was going to shoot. He had an opportunity to shoot a presentation, and I was like, "Well, shoot it." I go, show them something that's done. Show them something that's already been created and done, because the more you have done, the less power they can take from you as time goes by. I mean, they're still going to try and take credit or power, but it's always, people feel like they got to put their thumbprints on everything you're doing, so by the time you're done, it's not even close to what you wrote. And I was always amazed when they do that with stand-ups, because most stand-ups been around 15, 20, 25, 30 years. They've, you've been doing a show 10 times a week for how many years, and you got your character down, you know your jokes, and then they want to make a show about you, and then they go, we're gonna change everything, here's what we're gonna do. I'm like, well, then why do you even need me? Why'd you hire me?
Yeah, hey, you don't need me. This is not me.
Yeah, you can hire any schmuck from the extra tank. He'll do it. Bring that guy. Why take the guy that's created a character over the last 25 years?
What was that movie? What was that movie with Kevin Bacon where he's pitching? Originally, he's pitching some show, and he ends up there.
Is that Big Picture? Big Picture? Yeah, that's a great one. It's a great example. It's a really good example of that whole scenario where he does then he does the music video and he disappears for a week, and now the whole town fucking loves him. You know what I mean? And he goes back to town. Yeah. And now that girl's calling him back. Jamie Gertz, I think, was the character, the actress. She's, I miss you. Yeah. That's the funniest part of the whole clip to me, is her going, I miss you, out of the blue. I'm like, of course you do. Oh, that's the best.
So where you live in? What part of LA do you live in?
I'm in Sherman Oaks, man. I'm in the Valley. This is right in the Sherman Oaks Studio City area. It's nice. It's a nice little. We're south of the Boulevard. We're on Dickens, which is the quiet area in the Valley. I like it over here. It's good.
Yeah, we lived in. We were in It was Burbank, right on the border of Toluca Lake.
Yeah.
We were right on the 134. It was like right below us. We were on the 3rd floor, and the only time you noticed the noise was when it stopped. Like in the middle of the night, there would be no cars going.
Yeah,
and all
that's
of a sudden
creepy.
And you hear like a bird chirping. What was that?
What the hell? What's that noise? What's that? That's nature.
What's that noise? It's nature. Things I haven't heard for years.
I don't hear like a muffler breaking or anything like that, or bad exhaust. Yeah, we're far away from the street. I couldn't be happier, man. That was one of the things I looked for my last 3 places. Was I used to live on Magnolia, which is over here in North Hollywood. But I know where it is. Yeah, we lived right on the street, and my kids were babies then, and there was a guy down the street that had a Harley, and every night he would come home at 2 a.m, and it was a loud street. I didn't like it, so ever since I moved from there, I was like, I'm not living on a busy street, like ever again. It's just too quality of life. It fucks you up.
Yeah, it's too noisy and just. What I liked where we lived, I could walk wherever I wanted to. We had. Stores. We had Trader Joe's I could walk to. I could walk to Vaughn's. There was a little bar called Timmy Nolan's we could walk over. Like a cloudy Saturday afternoon, we'd go over and have a couple afternoon pops. And working. I love
Timmy Nolan's. I think they closed that. I think somebody bought that place and they changed it just recently. Yeah, in the last year. We used to go to Nolan's all the time. That was we used to go there a lot. Because I had a buddy live right near there, over there on Kling Street, and we used to go to Nolan's. And but yeah, I'm pretty sure they just sold it and became something else right during the COVID thing. Everything, a lot of these places changed during COVID, so I don't know what the hell's going to happen when everything opens back up.
Yeah, because people couldn't survive.
No, they couldn't. I know a couple of buddies that they're like, we're not coming back. I'm like, all right, I can see that, and it was too hard, man. Some places will survive, some won't, but I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, my buddy has a restaurant that we go to, and he's made it through. So hopefully he's going to be okay.
Oh, good for him.
We supported him. We did as much takeout as we could during it, and I think a lot of the people did because he has good food and people like him. But he was just really starting to kick in. They were really doing well, and then COVID hit because they were only open a little over a year. I did a show there one night.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard enough to keep a restaurant open. Most restaurants don't survive that first year. It's tough. I worked in the restaurant business for years, and to open a place, man, I don't know how they do it, but to open a place and still survive through COVID, you know what I mean? I don't know how many of them survived. There were a lot of Ventura Boulevard. A lot of these places closed down. The big corporations did fine. You know what I mean? They were able to fucking water their way through the bullshit, but it's these guys to make extra bucks, or to make money. I do Uber Eats at night now, bro, when I'm here in LA. I mean, but I go into these restaurants, the mom and pop joints or the smaller ones. It's all it's the family, and they're cooking late at night, 11 o'clock at night. It's the grandfather, it's the dad, it's the uncle. I mean, they can't afford to pay a staff. They're just hanging on for dear life, trying to survive.
Yeah, well, they couldn't even have people in there for. They could only do takeout. It was takeout only for about 6 months. Yeah,
we did here, man. We were hardcore takeout here. I mean, we couldn't do anything. We were open. Some of the restaurants opened just before Thanksgiving, and then the night before Thanksgiving, everything shut down again for months. And just recently, we started doing indoor again here, not too long ago. So, well, we'll see. But yeah, it was good for them. I'm glad he survived. You know what I mean? You like to see the good ones survive.
Yeah. Yeah. He had. I know him. He lives in my neighborhood. He has the cigar place where I hang out at, and then he opened this restaurant. The restaurant's really good. So.
Nice.
The cigar place, he didn't really give a shit to because I would go in there during COVID, and there would be a bunch of guys sitting in there smoking. So they really didn't enforce the rules in there.
Right.
But the restaurant, you had to do what you had to do.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, you got a whole bunch of other rules you got to follow with the restaurant, right? There's health code shit. I imagine a cigar place is really just by choice. Everybody's gonna like.
Yeah. If someone walks in, it's like, look at these guys. They're smoking cigars. They don't give a shit about their health anyway.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's not high on the health department's list.
Smoking.
Yeah,
he has a bottle of whiskey next to him, a cigar in his hand. He really doesn't care.
That's not safe to be sitting there without that mask. Big cigar, whiskey in his hand. Really? I think you'll be all right. All right, man.
You have to pull your mask down, take a puff, and then pull your mask.
Yeah, that's got to be that. They were trying to play that.
Smoke.
Yeah, they were trying to play that game here in LA for a while, where there's 2 cigar places by my house, and then restaurants. And they were trying to tell you to wear the mask in between drinks and puffs and whatever you were. But no one did it. No one did it. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean?
You can't do that.
Well, there was the ridiculousness of it's still to this day, the whole, you have to wear a mask while you're standing, but when you sit down in the restaurant, you can take the mask off, and then you're not contagious. And that's the whole glitch with the CDC that I never understood. I was like, how is that working?
Yeah, Rob told me a couple weeks ago, him and Cindy went out in Vegas. They went out to dinner, and they told him, you have to wear your mask until the water gets here. He says, so we're contagious until there's a glass of water on the
until there's liquid within arm's reach.
Water, now we're fine. We're safe.
Wow. Wish they would have found this out a year ago. That would have saved everybody a lot of hassles. Yeah.
Yeah, just here. Here's some water. Put a little shot of bleach in there too.
That'll clean you out. There you go. You're all good. Yeah. Well, everybody's got a rule. Everybody's got their own rules. There's a Panda Express by my house that he won't serve you because he's got to let you in the door. So if you walk in, he goes, "I can't, sir. I'm sorry. We have rules. You have to wait outside till I let you in." So you go outside, and the second you walk outside, he's like, "Oh, okay, come on in." But it's like this weird control thing that this assistant manager has, and he waits people in and out all day. Come in, you wait, and it's like it's ridiculous. So I'll go in there and you wait for him to wave me in. I'm like, all right, now I can go. Oh, okay, thanks. But he's got to tell you. That's his thing. That's what he's going to miss when COVID's gone. That he won't be in charge of telling people when to come in and out of the store. It's going to take a lot of his power away.
Yeah, he's got nothing.
Yeah, it's that fake. It's that fake power. It's that hallway monitor bullshit mall. That type of. Where you think you're trying.
Were they taking your temperature when you went in?
No, they take your temperature when you go in to sit down to eat. Yeah, but when you come in to order food and leave, they don't take your temperature. See, that's the other thing. There's so many things that you know what I mean. Like so the fever's okay if I'm just getting food to go, but if I'm sitting down, then I can't have the fever. Is that how this plays out? And they're like, I don't know. What to do. Yeah, yeah, it is. It's exactly how it plays out. No, that's the thing. No one knows. We've been chasing this fucking thing since it started, like a year ago, just trying to figure out where we're at, what we're doing. And everybody's making up rules as we go. My light went out. So.
Yeah, and they kept changing them along the way, and then first people were bringing home their groceries and scrubbing them down with Lysol.
Yeah, I know.
And then they said, you really don't get it. That doesn't stay on the package, so you don't have to do that.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, there was early on there was the whole contact thing. It was crazy. People wearing gloves. For a while they had people walking around wearing gloves all the time. It was too much. It was too much. All right, John. We're gonna get out of here, man. I think.
All right, good. Thanks for having me.
7:30, dude. Thanks for being here. I thank you very much. I'll see you. I'll see you soon, man. When we get back out there on the road, or somewhere on a ship or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
but good for you. Good luck with the class. That's cool that you got.
Right, thanks. Good luck with everything. Good. You're working. Well, I'm working. I have shows this weekend.
Where are you at this weekend?
A couple of my students have rooms they're booking, and they ask me, this is a good thing. When they get rooms, they say, can you headline when I first open? So I get to...
Oh, I see what you're doing now. I see your system.
You see how it works.
I like it. No, it's a smart move. I'll have to get them out.
Send them out. Go find places for me to work.
That's great.
You do all the legwork.
Yeah.
I'll show up and you pay me.
Yeah, there you go. It's brilliant. You're quietly a genius, Sean. That's very clever.
That's me.
All right, man.
All right, Lenny, good talk.
Take care. That's John Knight, folks. Look, everybody applause for John Knight. Yeah, the one and only. Yeah, brother. Bing, bang, bang. Yeah. That was John Knight, folks. Look at that. My good friend John Knight, all the way from Pittsburgh. That's what you do. You teach a class, and then they go out and book classes or book shows, and then you do their shows. I don't know why I didn't think of that. It's brilliant. You guys are great, man. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for what's going on? Oh, I'm being attacked by emails. Next week, Monday, we have shows next week on Monday and Wednesday as well. And I know there's two people here next week are friends of mine. Kevin Naughton, I believe, is here on Monday. Yes, Kevin Naughton is here on Monday. Good friend of mine from Chicago, Canaryville. Hardcore Southside Chicago friend. My buddy Kevin Naughton will be here on Monday. And on Wednesday next week, a gentleman by the name of Jefferson McDonald, who's a piano player, artist, musician, actor. I originally saw him on Norwegian Cruise Lines, and he was in the play they did with the I can't remember he played Jerry Lee Lewis in the movie with the $1 Million Quartet. I'm sorry, that's it. It's the $1 Million Quartet. Elvis Presley, Carl Perkins, and then the character that he played was Jerry Lee Lewis and Johnny Cash. Those are the four. That's the play. If you saw that play ever, he played the Jerry Lee Lewis character, who is crazy. And that's it. That's all I got. You guys are great. Thank you so much for being here. As always, enjoy your weekend. As always, be safe. Be careful. Thanks for all the questions. Thanks, everybody. 4 o'clock tomorrow, the happy hour. I will send out a link in a minute here so that you guys are aware of what's going on. Besides that, all of you, please do me a favor. Dream of Pinky.
Lenny Schmidt Quarantine Comedy was created, produced, and is hosted by Lenny Schmidt. We live stream on YouTube at 6 p.m. Pacific every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Special episodes occasionally stream or are uploaded on Tuesday and Thursday. Every episode is also launched as a podcast and can be heard on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. If you enjoyed the show, please like the video. If you really like it, share the video. If you really, really like it, please subscribe to the Lenny Schmidt Comedy channel on YouTube. You'll get updates on this and numerous other online comedy content that my dad produced. Check the info section below for detailed information on all of our guests. If you are a fan, you can follow and support them as well. Go to their page, like their content, buy their albums, purchase a shirt, any merch they may be selling. Anything you do will support performers will literally help save the arts. In fact, if you want to support this show financially, just go to lennyschmidt.com/ifyoucan or Venmo at Lenny Schmidt Comedy. If you donate as little as $1 or as much as $10,000, it will help pay for the stuff my dad keeps breaking. If you can't pay for the comedy content, that's okay. COVID sucks for all of us. Enjoy the free show. If you want to find a way to support what we do, just subscribe to Lenny Schmidt Comedy channel on YouTube. That really helps a lot. Thank you for listening to my dad's show, and as always, dream of Pinky.